Welcome back, everybody. The Eagles' season on the verge of being over. It is 36-20 Colonials at the half. And could the first quarter for the Eagles gone any worse? I do not think it could have. Boy, their offense was anemic. Their defense was atrocious. And they ended up losing the quarter 27-6. Now they're going to be chasing those points pretty much all game long, and C.J. Aiken and Jalen Bond are really in rhythm right now. They're taking the shots that they like to take, and those are pretty much 7 feet and in. There's no reason for them to shoot long jumpers if the Eagles are going to give them stuff inside, and we talked about it at multiple timeouts. The Eagles need to stop the Colonials from doing that, but they have not. It was a little bit of an improvement late in the second quarter, but boy, that must have been the longest halftime ever for the Eagles. They just got to be ready to get back out here and just forget about what happened, because I don't think it could have been much worse, at least in the first quarter. And what does a head coach even say at a halftime like that? What do you do if you're Mike Evans? I mean, boy, it's such a big game. The PW and Norristown games, both of them this season. Very, very close contests, although each team won one. One of them was by 4, and one of them was by 5, and now this one, 16-point gap at halftime. But you know what? It doesn't matter what happened in the first half right now. It's all about right now, and appropriately, Right Now by Van Halen playing in the background as these teams take the floor. The Eagles trying to embark on what would be just an outstanding, amazing comeback, but it's got to start somewhere. The inbound from Sam Pygott to Brandon Dixon as PW gets first ball here in the quarter. I'm Mark Hodinski. You're watching Colonials Eagles on NASD TV. Dixon thought about a 3. It's 36-20 at halftime. Actually, now 15 seconds in. Pygott drives, couldn't get it, and Wyatt hauls down the rebound. Here is Ramsey trying to get by Bond, who's an outstanding defender. Uses his length so well and forces the turnover there, but Mayer gets the ball right back for the Eagles. Here's Gardner. Behind the back, and it gets away. Oh, man, too many turnovers for the Eagles. They got to stop being sloppy with their dribbling and just focus on not turning the ball over. Right now, 9 turnovers by the Eagles. That's way more than they normally have. Here's the lob for Aiken, and he lays it in. I mean, Plymouth Whitemarsh hasn't been outstanding at taking care of the ball either at 6 turnovers. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's certainly solid if you're going to take the ball away as many times as they have been doing. Here's Mayer putting it up, and he got fouled. And I'll tell you what, against Elizabethtown in the Eagles' latest game, of course, we mentioned how Mayer had a career-high 16, and it was all because of his speed and his quickness. He would just put the ball on the floor, blow by everybody, and get the finish. And it's not going to be as easy against the PW team that's a lot more athletic than Elizabethtown was. But he did a good job of it right there, and he couldn't get all the way to the rack, but he got a step and forced the defender, Brandon Dixon, to foul him. Sheldon Mayer to shoot 2. The first of 2 is up and good. Boy, Sheldon Mayer's free throw shooting has just steadily improved throughout his high school career to the point where he's become an extremely reliable free throw shooter. Sheldon Mayer, the 5'8" junior point guard, hoists his second free throw and unable to put it down, and Jalen Bond grabs the rebound. The Eagles' offensive rebounding has been non-existent, and PW's has been the difference in this game. Another lob for Aiken, and now this time he gets the dunk. The Eagles did not learn the first time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And shame on the Eagles for not stopping that basket cut for the second straight time. Here's Tom Smith, and he can't get that one to go. Brandon Dixon the other way, trying to take it all the way, and he left it well short on the layup. That one saved, at least for the moment, and now Aiken with that long wingspan, able to get it in. Dixon goes up and got hammered by number 15, Lorenzo Christmas. We score now 40-21 as PW has added 3 points to their halftime lead. It's now 19. And Brandon Dixon is about to shoot 2 free throws. Brandon Dixon's first is up and good. Mr. Dixon now has 5, already surpassing what he had in the Colonials last game. Jib D'Onofrio with some instruction for Sam Pygott. Head coach talking to guard there. And here comes the Eagles offense. I say get the ball to Wyatt, let him work on Joe Hughes. Here's Christmas. Getting it to Ramsey. Now here's Wyatt, with Aiken coming over to help. That's a good move by the Colonials to do that, but Wyatt spinning away from Aiken and getting the finish off the backboard and depositing the bucket. Some more full court pressure, but the Colonials have handled that beautifully so far today and continue to do so here. And Sam Pygott's going to head to the line for 2 free throws. Well, Wyatt's now up to 11, so they've done an okay job of getting him going. But the contributions from elsewhere have been pretty sparse. And Sam Pygott has been tremendous for the Colonials. I mean, we know that Aiken's going to get his. We know that Bond's going to get his. But when a guy like Sam Pygott steps up and chips in 9, and that's just so far, it's really dangerous because now you have even more scoring threats, and this team no longer is two-dimensional as it looks to be on paper. The free throw was good, and it's now 43-23 Colonials. Sam Pygott's second of 2 is up, and it is good. The lead's back up to 21, matching the Colonials' largest lead of the contest. Here's Christmas. Gonna get to Mayer. He'll take the 3. He was open, and he missed it. Aiken pulls down the board. He's being harassed by Tom Smith, so he'll put it on the ground. And Aiken nearly threw it away. He's turned the ball over a couple times in the backcourt when faced with pressure, but not here. However, Tom Smith comes up with a steal here. Here's Wyatt with just 1 man to beat. It's Dixon, and he gets by him and deposits 2. So Wyatt gets the deficit back down to 19. But time's going to start to run out pretty soon. And that one off of Tom Smith. And it's going to go Colonials ball. Brandon Dixon to set it up. Just 13 minutes to go in this ball game. So the Eagles have been playing right with the Colonials ever since that disastrous first quarter, but they're going to have to do a lot more than trade baskets with them if they want to try and stage some kind of a comeback in this game. Here's Dixon. With D'Onofrio talking to Hughes mid-play, directing him around. Dangerous pass there, but they get it to Dixon. Now kick out for Hughes. The 3 is well short. It's an air ball. And Christmas diving, can't get it. Pygott will pick it up, saves it from going backcourt. And now they'll get it over to Bond in the corner. Nice job to get it to the cutting Pygott. Now Aiken with the jumper. It's no good. That's what you want to force him to take. If he gets dunks and layups, it's not going to be any good for the Eagles. Wyatt couldn't get the little floating layup to fall, but he does get fouled, and he does get to the line for 2 shots. He lived at the line in the Eagles' States opener, and he's been living at the line here tonight. Khalif Wyatt with 13 so far, and he'll look to add to that from the line. Outside of Wyatt, no Eagle has more than 6, and that's Christmas as Wyatt hits the free throw. Shaquille Hargrove comes back into the game. He played an excellent second quarter while he was in. And he's back out here to play some solid defense, and Wyatt is about to take his second free throw. Back iron, no good, but a rebound tipped by Smith to Wyatt, and they got the bucket. So he'll take the free throw and then miss the second and end up with a basket out of it. So now just a 16-point game. They got it back to what it was at halftime. Here's Aiken getting it to Dixon. The Eagles doing a good job of keeping Aiken and Bond out of the paint ever since that disastrous first quarter. Here's Bond around the perimeter. That's where the Eagles want to see him. Here's Dixon being harassed by Hargrove, who gets the steal. More great defense by Hargrove. Gets it to Mayer, who gets wrecked. And he'll get to the line. He's a little slow to get up, but Mayer taking one for the team. And he'll take 2 free throws as well. What great defense by Hargrove, though, to deflect it away and then to get to it, and then to make the heads-up pass to Mayer. And now there'll be a timeout on the floor. Mike Evans will talk things over with his Norristown Eagles. Jim D'Onofrio will do the same with his Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials. Well, for as good a run as the Eagles just made, the only place it got them was to within 16, which is right back to where it was at halftime. So we're just over 4 minutes into the half, and they have not cut into the lead one bit. In fact, they've struggled just to keep it at 16. So, I don't know, Mike Evans, I guess you try to continue to use that full court press, see if you can get some steals. Just take a lot of gambles at this point because, I mean, if you keep playing how you've been playing, your season's over. If you take some gambles and take some risks, yeah, sure, you risk making things even worse, but, I mean, you have to take these risks at this point because you're down by so much. Of course, if you're PW, you have the Eagles right where you want them, taking a lot of risks. Taking a lot of gambles, but boy, just the disastrous first quarter is just haunting the Eagles all game long. Outside of the first quarter, they're winning this game, but game's played in 4 quarters, not 3. Here's Wyatt, step back 3. Oh, and he got it. Khalif Wyatt for 3. Colonials have some trouble getting the ball in, and now they do to Aiken, who's seen a little weakness in him handling the ball. Nice pass there, though, to Aiken. Only Christmas to beat, banks it. Oh, it went in, out, and then back in again. And Aiken gets 2 more. He's up to 14. Here's Mayer now, trying to blow by a man. Doesn't get it, but he does get fouled. Brandon Dixon doesn't like the call. I don't see how. That was a perfectly legitimate blocking foul call. And Sheldon Mayer going to go back to the line. You know, he's been at the line quite a bit tonight as well. And last game, 10 trips to the line for Sheldon Mayer. He went 6 of 10 from the free throw line. And today, like Wyatt, getting to the line a lot once again. Mayer's first free throw is good. Nearly came out, but it stays down for Sheldon Mayer. They got it down to 14. Still a long hill to climb, but don't count the Eagles out yet. If we learned anything about this team throughout the years, especially last year as Mayer misses the second, is that this team can outdo any team in character, heart, and those intangibles such as those. Here is Bond with a little hop step. Oh my, what a great feed for C.J. Aiken, who catches and slams, now tips it away defensively and gets it to his co-star, Jalen Bond. Aiken for 3. No. He's over 2 from down there, and I really don't know why he's taking 3s. That's not his game. Here's Wyatt, bowling into a man, offensive foul. That's a good call and a bad play by Khalif Wyatt. He's kept the Eagles in this game, at least for whatever chances they have. It's in large part because of Khalif Wyatt. He's taken a lot of shots, and he's scored a lot of points. It's not one of his best games, but he's doing his part. The defense for the Eagles has just been terrible. There's the feed inside. Aiken nearly lost it, and now he does lose it to Hargrove. Hargrove lost it, though, and it's deflected out of bounds by Jalen Bond. It's going to be Eagles' ball, so out of that little scramble, the Eagles ultimately end up with possession. It's 48-32 with 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Eagles trailing the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials. They're geographical rivals, 7 miles, give or take, separating these two schools. And just over this past off-season, the schools moved into the same conference, the Suburban One League American Conference. So what was already a geographical rivalry is now a conference rivalry as well. And now with Plymouth Whitemarsh acquiring Bond and Aiken over the summer as well, you have 2 teams that are legitimate state contenders. There's a foul by Hughes away from the ball. Hughes is questioning the call. I don't know exactly what it was. I was looking over there away from the ball, but they've got a couple fouls of that nature in this game away from the ball. And most of them have gone against the Eagles. This one, not the case. So here's Wyatt in the corner, covered by Hughes, who he exposed in the first meeting of these 2 teams. That one is no good, and Mayer saved it, but right to Hughes. Hughes fakes the pass and now comes back the other way. And a foul on Sheldon Mayer as he tried to block a Joe Hughes pass, but it was just a pump fake, and he ended up pretty much on Joe Hughes' back. But in that meeting in the regular season, as I stated earlier, Joe Hughes was on Khalif Wyatt when he went off for 20 first-half points. And then they made a defensive change, but Jalen Bond on Wyatt, and Wyatt was totally quieted. And the Colonials ended up taking the lead and holding on to it and getting the win. This time, though, Wyatt not being able to take advantage of Hughes when Hughes has been on him to that much of an extent. I mean, he has done a solid job with 18 points, but not to the extent that he did last game. And now here's a scoop layup good on the other end from PW. Here's Wyatt putting it up, getting it to go. He's really turned it on here in the second half. But the question is it too little, too late? It's really starting to look like that. Here's Pygott, up good, and a foul. That'll extend the lead to 18, and it could be 19 with a Sam Pygott free throw. Sam Pygott now with 13. Boy, I'll tell you, Khalif Wyatt just over there on the Norristown bench now. I'm taking, I guess, a short breather. Boy, quietly with 18 points. But, I mean, it's the rest of the team's struggles, especially defensively, that have really cost this team. There's no way you could put this one on Wyatt. I mean, this team wins as a team, they lose as a team. And we'll see where this one ends up. That one's swatted away by Wiz Grant. Wiz Grant to Pygott. Up and under, and he got the reverse layup. What a move. Sam Pygott's just on fire tonight. Stepping up in a huge game. That's what a coach loves to see out of a player like Pygott. He's been a solid contributor all year, but this game he's been way more than a solid contributor, and James Ramsey walked. That's a good call. Picked up his pivot foot before he put it on the ground, and the Eagles are now in some serious trouble, down by 20 with under 9 minutes to go in the game. 53 seconds to go in the third quarter. Here is Marcus Badger now with 45 seconds to go. Mayer harassing him. Now it's Aiken. Kicking it out to Pygott. Now it's back inside to Bond. Puts it up, puts it in. Can't let him get that deep in the paint. They've limited it in the second and third quarters, but in the first quarter, it really killed them. And now once again, Bond able to get a little 5-foot jumper. Gardner put up a pretty crazy layup. That's no good. And they get it back out to Ramsey, who will take a look at the clock and see that it's time for his Eagles to try to take the last shot of the quarter. 10 seconds to go now. James Ramsey holding on to the ball. Now it's just 4 seconds. James Ramsey's got to make something happen in a hurry. Kicks it up to Mayer for 3. It's no good, and it's an air ball. He really had to force it. He kind of wants a foul call. His bench will help him up. And after 3 quarters, it's the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials 56. The Norristown Eagles 34. And I know you can never count them out, but boy, the Eagles season looks close to done. Of course, the Eagles, unlike last year, district champions this year, District 1. Last year, though, making it all the way to the state championship game before losing a heartbreaker to the Chester Clippers. What a stacked Chester team that was, though, with 4 Division I players and all the size and athleticism they had. Nasir Robinson, Karan Burden, Raleigh Jefferson, and the Eagles just happened to run into a team that was better than them in that game. Of course, Chester, as you probably already know, getting out to a lead as big as 19 points, but ultimately squeaking out a win by just 4 over the Eagles, who picked up a state silver medal